What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? Detroit Mail, breaking news. I mean, I'm sure by now everybody heard that Detroit Lions fired defensive back Aubrey Pleasant. I was trying to do this before I did the live show, but ended up doing the live show first. So I'm gonna go ahead and you know give my little thoughts on them. Get out your way. Um, Shout out to Alex. He came on the live show. He brought it up then, and I was like, I'm gonna address it. I'm gonna address it. So I'm gonna go ahead and address it real quick. Um, and I agree with I listened to Moby's talk, and I heard I think Mark Orm say it too. This whole regime, especially defensive wise, need to be fired. This was just a band-aid on a gaping hole. It seems like maybe Aubrey Pleasant pissed somebody off, or him and Aaron Glenn got into an argument or something, and they just got rid of him just to kind of to smooth things over, with the rest of the defensive regime. But this ain't helping nothing. You saying, okay, if you have better defensive backs, then defense would be fixed? The defense is trash. Period. That it should be. It should go with the head. Who's the head of the defense? Aaron Glenn. Why he's not fired? This just seems to me. It seems to me as just a way of trying to shake something up, give y'all something to talk about, slide a hand, look over here, while over here is happening. So we all focus on the firing of Aubrey Pleasant. They still sticking up the joint over here. It takes some of the heat off, some of the pressure off. We're not talking about Dan Campbell being fired. We're not talking about Aaron Glenn playing sorry as hell. I mean, not playing, but coaching sorry as hell. You're not talking about the defense giving up chunk yards in the run, giving up chunk yards in the pass. Only thing we can talk about on the bright side of the defense is Okuda and Rodriguez. That's it. Hutch show up every now and then. Hutch like an absent father. You know what I'm saying? He came, he was there at the beginning. He went and got some bread. Ain't seen him in a while. Then you do good. He come back into your life. Hey, man, I'm your dad. You know what I'm saying? You out there, you on the football team doing good. He comes back, hey, remember I'm your dad. So, bro, you been gone all this time. That's what Hutch is. You know what I'm saying? He in and out, in and out, in and out. No consistency. I just think that this is just another way of just putting a blame on somebody else. Let's get the scapegoat here. And okay, now defense is better. Defense still trash. You're going to play Green Bay next, which is a winnable game too, the way Green Bay been playing. But you're going to find a way to stink it up. And if you look at the last game against the Dolphins, they had no business losing that game. And you up 10 points. If you had a defense, 2 stops, 2 good stops, man, when you need them. That's the game. The whole second half, they ain't stop them. That's the defensive coordinator. That had nothing to do. Well, I ain't gonna say it had nothing to do with Aubrey Pleasant, but you go for the head. The head takes the blame, and the head is there as AG. Why does he still have a job? He come in. If I'm Dan Campbell, it's not me absolving Dan Campbell for anything, but Sheila already came out and said they're getting at least another year. Right. So if I'm Dan Campbell, that whole defensive side is gone. We're bringing us on a whole different regime. That's what I'm doing. Because now you're affecting the way I eat. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I don't do something drastic, do something to make some changes, I lose my job. So now I gotta think about me. And that's how Dan Campbell should be thinking now. I mean, I still don't have confidence that he able to lead his team Cause some of the bonehead stuff he been doing too, and it's not a. I like Dan Campbell. I mean, as a person, he seems to be a cool guy. He seems to get a lot of a lot of people say good things about him, but that don't translate to W's. I say it all the time. You can get all the accolades you want. If it don't translate to W's, I don't care. It's just what it is right now. It's like it's difference between if we were a Green Bay. Yeah, people talk about Aaron Rodgers only won that one Super Bowl, but year after year after year, they end a conversation. Look at Minnesota. Minnesota is leading division now. They probably gonna do what they always do: get to the playoffs and just lay an egg. But what? Guess what? Still in the conversation. And that's what we need to be. We need an organization that, yeah, I want to win a Super Bowl, but at least can we be in a conversation? We're not even in a conversation. We don't even look. We don't like we ready for the school dance. We look like orphans. We look like people who what's the word I want to look for? We look like bums on the street. We look like little league trying to play in the big leagues. You just don't look ready to be in the spotlight. That's why we got all these 1:00 games this year. That's why we don't have any primetime games. No one wants to see this team play. And that's starting to include some of the fan base. It's ridiculous that we have to go through the same thing year in and year out, and then we scapegoat each regime that comes in. Oh, it's okay. Jared Goff not that bad. If you look at the stats don't mean jack if you ain't winning. Here's the thing about stats. I said in my last video, stats are good as a datum, a starting point. You start with stats, and then you start breaking down the nuance to each stat and see does that stat either holds any water to anything. So, like for instance, you can say, "Hey, we lead the league in rushing," but if you playing under 500 teams, that don't mean nothing. Hey, we lead the league. We throwing at 90%, but you only threw 5 passes. Who cares? That doesn't mean anything. The stat looks good, but then you start breaking down what that stat actually means. DC don't mean nothing. You say, "Oh, we're leading the league in scoring." Okay, but there's plenty of times that Goff had open men down the field, didn't hit them, chose to check down. Got plenty of time the pocket was wide open. Goff didn't run it. He doesn't have the ability to run. If he did run, by the time he left the pocket, didn't have to, all he had to do a step up. I mean, I can go down a list of things of his deficiencies. So he's not the quarterback of this team for the future. Is he the reason why we losing all the games? Nah, he's not the only reason. This is a collective thing. I can't just lay the blame of foot at the feet of Jared Goff. It's at the feet of every last person on the team, from Sheila Ham on down. That's where the blame lies. Until the old things get fixed, it's like Groundhog Day. We doing the same thing over and over and over again. But anyway, that's all I got to say. I was supposed to be something quick. A lot of times, you get to talking about these lines, you get to going on rants because they just upset you so much sometimes. Some of the stupid stuff they do, some of the dumb stuff we see, and you just get tired of it. But anyway, like, share, subscribe, the usual. We appreciate the ones who subscribe. Hey man, that's much appreciated. Much love. I thank you. Until next time, peace.